Okay, so I guess we're back at the church with Mel. You have my thanks, Father. And I apologize for being late today. Now there's something unusual, you not being punctual. Maybe next time we'll go a whole month without rain. Do have mercy on next year's crops, Mel. You hyperbolize, Father. So, did something nice happen? Huh? You look like you're in good spirits. Do I? No, nothing. Something did happen, didn't it? It's all over my face, isn't it? People prefer an open book to a face of stone. So it is. People may prefer it, but it's not a good trait to have for social engagements. What? Not the kind of engagements you'll be having anyway. I'm sorry. Don't look so dejected. For now, at least, there's nothing wrong with that. Now tell me, what has you in such a joyous mood, Mel? You torment me so, Father. We've taken on another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes in and things get lively for a while. All the excitement has gone to me, that's all. Oh, I just assume every priest I see in every kind of piece of fiction, I just assume it's Kotomine Kirei from Fate Stay Night. Why are you looking at me like that? No reason. So, what family does the little lady come from? Oh, I don't actually know. You don't know? I was going to ask her, but I missed my chance. Father has returned home, and I can't speak to Mother. I see. She's caught your eye, has she? Yeah, she has. But the truth is, you're more than just interested in her, are you not? No, Haha. You truly do enjoy tormenting me. Well, I should be getting home now. Mel. Yes? Make certain you find out where she's from. If you're genuinely interested in her, it's your responsibility to determine if she's actually suitable for you. Thank you. Excuse me. It doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. No, I'm not in love with her. I'm just interested. I'm totally not. I don't like her. This isn't love. No, it couldn't be. This is me we're talking about. Besides, I hardly even know her. That's always how it goes. I mean, didn't we make a reference to Romeo and Juliet? This is exactly what's happening. Young sire, bless young sire, alms for the poor. It's the same beggar as before. I don't think he's moved since then. But he looks skinnier than last time. He's gonna have trouble making it through the summer. I should give him something while I still have the chance. Alms for the poor, have mercy. Sorry, but this is all I have to give you. Well, thank you very much. Blessings upon you. May the Lord bless your soul, young sire. Oh, thanks. I feel bad for him, but that's just the way of the world. Farewell. The skies are really clear. The sun shone fiercely down the town that day. As was characteristic of the area, cloudy days and rain were frequent during the season, but the sun almost always took the stage the day after a storm. The cathedral standing tall in the center of town, the stone-paved streets clacking with the pleasant sound of footsteps, the people peering out from beneath the awnings to look up at the sky. In Mel's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by a divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the forsaken. Even if their time would later come to be referred to as the Golden Age. Isn't that how it always is, in society? Welcome to society. And elsewhere, back in the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. On a whim, she had decided to redecorate her bedchamber, so she gathered the maids and put them to work, shouting orders and demands and complaints. and she had not summoned only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl.
No, not like that. How many times must I tell you? The tapestry goes by the door, and I don't like the carpet's pattern. Is there anything else we can change with it? Hey, who put this ugly vase here?
Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was the servants who bore the brunt of her frustration. Though if they found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was a girl who spoke her mind, a trait particular to that time in history. Women of the Golden Age were so vivacious, in fact, that inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. But no matter how hands-off her parents were, had Nellie been born a generation earlier or a generation later, she likely would not have been able to act so free-spirited. That day, however, Nellie did not seem to be her usual self, though she always spoke her mind and rarely went beyond being childishly adorable. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face.
Get rid of it all. Carpet, that chair, the desk, it's all so ugly. Don't we have anything better? If we don't, then order it. Have it made. You can do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them.
Okay, she's being such an ass right now. Having only arrived that morning, the white-haired girl was unsure what she was supposed to be doing, caught in the middle of a flutter of maids and furniture and fabric. She chased frantically, scrambling Abigail's her eyes, and made attempts to help, but not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in their way. She probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. So when the maids ordered to get new furniture made, their way out of Nellie's room, she attempted to follow them. That was a confusing sentence for me for some reason, but I'll read it again. So when the maids ordered to get new furniture made their way out of Nellie's room, she attempted to follow them. Okay, for some reason I thought, or because you could say ordered to get new furniture made, but rather it's the maids who are going to get new furniture are making their way out of the room. Anyway.
You. Hold on a second. Yes, you. With the white hair.
However, Nellie stopped her before she could take her leave.
What?
The white-haired girl turned back, bewildered to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth turned up into a self-assured grin. There's no trace of timidity or uncertainty in her demeanor. Her flaxen eyes seemed like they would look nice under the light of the sun. Almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl. Okay, narrator is laughing for some reason.
I wanted to talk to you, actually. But Mother never was one to share. I asked her to trade maize, but she wouldn't have it.
Trade? You mean for...
Which is why I decided to completely redecorate my room, because then I would need some extra hands.
But why?
Because Mother and Father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Who are you, exactly? Where did you come from? Tell me, what house are you from? Why can't you tell me? If we took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rhodes family, I have a right to know. Do I not? You can't expect me to welcome a girl into my home who won't even tell me where she came from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at any parties.
I came from another country.
Another country? What country?
Somewhere very, very far away.
Oh? North of here? East? West? South?
South. It's south of here. I crossed the sea to get here, which is why we have never met before.
How far did you have to travel then? How many times did the sun rise, and how many stormy nights did you face?
Innumerable days and nights we sailed, heading ever further north.
Huh. So tell me.
Lady Nellie, this is the most wonderful painting. She just tried to brush me off. I won't let her get away that easily. It's just a police interrogation.
Where were you on the night of the murder?
Painting. It's in my room, so of course it's wonderful.
But that one is especially so.
You're both so adorable. You, Lady Nellie, and Lord Mel. How old were you when it was painted?
Huh? Ah, that painting. Oh, goodness, yes. You have a good eye for art. It is magnificent, isn't it? This was done when I was 4 and Mel was 7. You see how we're standing next to each other, holding hands? How lewd. I was too young to remember it very well, but Mel looks like he was really embarrassed. Okay, well, it's funny how, like, oh, this art is gorgeous, when then we actually look at it, it's kind of like, it's a little blurry. In the background, I would say that if there's one criticism, I guess, like a small one, is that the backgrounds are a little, like, not really stylized in the same way. So they're just mostly just like blurry, stand-in art. But I guess it's fine. It's like whatever, it's supposed to be backgrounds anyway. You're not really supposed to pay attention to it anyway in the first place. But standing there like statues makes for a boring painting. Nellie explained brightly. Having completely forgotten she was pressed up against the white-haired girl, she did a little twirl, stopping to face the portrait. Though many paintings lined the walls of her room, Nellie was most fond of the one of her and her brother. Two darling siblings standing side by side, the older brother smiling kindly, and the younger sister sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks the color of fresh-picked apples. It was like the very embodiment of their happiness. A painting lays its subjects bare, fortune and misfortune, happiness and sorrow, enshrined on canvas for all to see. And this reflection is not merely limited to the point in time it was made either. Did you know, Master, that paintings are alive? Well, I mean, that's scary. They're all drawn with a brush over an extended stretch of time, unlike photographs which capture a singular moment. The two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still, while a painting moves. Portraits reveal both the past and the present state of those they depict. Mel and I have always been close. I would sing songs for him, and he would teach me all about all sorts of things. He's so smart. Nowadays, Mel hardly even goes and walks with me, making excuses like, I'm an adult now, but we used to spend a lot of time playing together in the rose garden. I see. The white-haired girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curled upward as Nellie reminisced. The vision of the two happy siblings had probably swelled up in her mind, and I imagine there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Lady Nellie, you love Lord Mel quite deeply, I see. Yes, of course I do. Mel's smart, he's studious. Is that how you say it, by the way? Studious? And he's incredibly kind. For my birthday, he gave me this wonderful rose necklace. The jewelry shop he got it from is famous because even the royal family makes commission from their workshop, so he had to have it ordered months in advance. Just for me. He's a prince. Oh? He's pretty charming, wouldn't you say? That's why I call him my prince. But you know what? Mel's a terrible dancer, and still hasn't got his feet on the ground yet, and he's so bad at interacting with girls. There's no one else who would say that about him. Well, he's quite the gentleman. I assume women would be drawn to him. Gentlemen? Have you met Mel already? This morning, briefly. That reminds me, Mel seemed to know about her too. What do you think about Mel? As I said, he's a gentleman. That's not what I mean. Don't think I'll let you get away with putting any funny ideas in his head. What? Mel is too trusting. He's pure of heart. too pure for this world. So I would not stand for you trying to take advantage of him. I would never. So you say, but you actually want to get close to him. I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nellie. He's a man far beyond my reach. You aren't planning on doing anything, are you? Not at all. You don't have any romantic feelings for him, do you? What? Well, do you? I have no romantic feelings for him, Lady Nellie. And you won't develop any? I will not. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. And with that, Nellie gave a wide, satisfied grin. Even though one has no way of knowing how another truly feels or how they might in the future. You wouldn't, would you? Now that I think about it, there are plenty of other boys. You getting together with Mel is downright absurd. Indeed. But anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family. I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from or anything about your... Lady Nellie, I've brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. The work of a true artist, and I'm simply in love with it. Surely you will find it to your liking as well. Wow, you're right. That's a Florentine Swiss stitch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked the sorrow if it was improved. Either way, a great find. Let's hurry up and get it laid out. Oh, we'll have to see how the colors go with everything else. We have to finish redecorating quickly so I can show Mel. He'd be so surprised. Okay, he's like, yeah, I guess she's doing it for Mel, sort of. What a wonderful taste you have, Nelly. When the other Abigails returned, so too did the bustle within Nelly's room. As the white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from relief at having escaped Nelly's inquisition, or perhaps nothing, I guess. Just implying something, I don't know. Well, I mean, I assume, maybe it's because, I think the implication is, the white-haired girl likes the fact that, Nelly is, very, I guess, what do you call it? Like, she's fawning over her brother, I guess. And and the white-haired girl finds that adorable, is what I assume, is what the narration meant. Anyway, Nelly, I'm back. Did you eat something you're not supposed to, dearest Mel? You're unusually cheerful. I'm the same as always. Anyway. Never mind that, dearest Mel. Take a look at my room. I redecorated today. So that's what you've been doing, hiding in the house all day, Nelly? How is that any different than what you were doing? You were in the church all day. I guess. I will look at your room, I promise. But first, do you know where the new maid is? I'm totally in love with her and everything, and like, you have like this weird puppy love on me, but we're like siblings, so you can't really do that, so I'm just gonna... Basically, I don't know, I'm feeling that's what it is. It's like a love triangle, and Nelly really likes her brother a little bit too much. It's like, it's like... But her brother's not really into that. He's rather into white-haired girls instead. No, don't get any strange ideas. I just haven't yet had the chance to introduce myself, and I thought I should as a member of the family. Except you have, and I know it. Being the eldest son, it'll be shameful if she were to pass me in the halls, not even knowing who I am, so don't ask me. But you were in the house all day. She attends to Mother, so why would I know where she is? Though she did help redecorate my room. You made her help. Well, that's work for the manservants. Or men servants? How is it manservants? Men servants. There's no way to make the maids do it. Or there's no reason to make the maids do it. So you're saying I should invite a bunch of men into my room? Well, when you put it like that, I go into your room all the time, Nelly, and you were in my bedchamber just this morning. Only one man is allowed in my bedroom, dearest Mel, and that's you. So unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any of them for help. Oh, Nelly. Well, Nelly. You gotta be a little more what? If you're gonna lecture me, I won't hear it. What am I gonna do with you, my little lady? What? What? Why are you looking at me like that? We talked about you, dearest Mel. I'm not gonna tell you what she said. About me? What did she say? Please, Nelly. She said she has no romantic interest in you. Why'd that even come up? Because we're both girls. We talk about things like what kind of boys we like and who's the most handsome. And Nelly was just talking about Mel, Anyway. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mel? You look like a sad little boy who can't get his crush to notice him. That face is unbecoming of a prince, Mel. Are you interested in her? That's strange, you haven't even met. I am not. It's just depressing to find out that someone you've never even met doesn't like you. That's all. But that's not what I said. That's not... Anyway. I simply said that she has no romantic interest in you. Anyway. If I'm going to make my move, I must do it soon. I don't have much time. The master of the house isn't around, so next in line would be him. What are you doing? What are you doing, white-haired girl? That painting. She's gonna steal a painting? What is she gonna do? It sounds like a saving thing. I mean, I could save the game. There hasn't been any, like, choices so far, so I haven't been really saving all that much. But, like, that weird intermission music, it just makes me think, like, in a video game,
If I were to save, that would be the sound that it makes. Anyway. Despite his near devastation by Nellie's news, Mel's flaxen eyes continued to wander in hopes of catching sight of the girl. By now, it would be quite obvious to you what Mel was feeling, but the boy himself was having difficulty comprehending the things going through his heart. Emotionally, he was horribly unstable, like a ship without a sail. And still, every time he spotted the white-haired girl, his heart would leap, his whole body jitter with anxiety and excitement. He had never felt anything like this before, and as such, he struggled to keep these strange emotions in check. Whenever he saw an opportunity, Mel would speak to the white-haired girl. And days he was unable to, he either spent in secluded silence or at distracted days. Love is a curious thing. It has the power to change those who experience it. When he did manage to approach her, he tripped over his tongue. Again and again he talked to her, and again he stumbled. I imagine, if you were to take him to see a romance at a theater in his present state, he would cry just as much as little Nellie. We cry at tragedies because we draw parallels of our own lives. At least, that is what I think. Great tales of romance attain true gravity with the audience only when they are personally familiar of love. In any event, the white-haired girl was, as a result of this, visibly perturbed. She was delighted that he was able to be so kind to her, but confusion overpowered every other emotion. She appeared to be at a loss what to do as he clumsily catapulted words and stares at her. But Mel did not back down, though he probably knew not what caused such fiery emotion to erupt from within his breast. One's first love, in particular, tends to burn like a wildfire. Wildfire? Are you familiar with the sensation, Master? Oh? Well, there she is. Is she cleaning? Looks like she's reading. It's now or never. Boo! And then she dies of a heart attack. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Lord Mel, you very clearly meant to scare me. I don't like that, I hate you. Because you just wouldn't notice me. What are you reading? You look pretty engrossed. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have asked for permission. It's fine, no need to apologize. Feel free to read whatever you want, and you're welcome to bring books back to your room if you'd like to spend more time with them. But I was just amazed that the mansion had a library. It must have been a lot of work to collect all these books. There are some pretty old books in here too. Your grandfather's? Some that he collected and some even older than that. Take a look at this. I think it's a diary, but it's not from this country. Or this century for that matter. Maybe a feudal lord? Here, he's complaining about the quality of the harvest. Can this forsaken land only produce sour grapes? If only for the largest of the, Barney? Or maybe Barnier. If only for the largest of the Barnier estates were mine instead. The land there is much more suitable to cultivation. Well, there you have it. You can read this, Lord Mel. More or less. I've looked over it several times already, so it wasn't too difficult. Why would such an old book be here? I'm not sure. It and all of this was already here when I moved into the mansion. Have you not lived here your whole life? I was born in our estate, but to me and Ellie, this is more like our home. We moved when I was still young, and we lived here ever since. Ellie and Mother have both grown quite fond of it. Father, though, often goes back to the house because he doesn't like all the roses. By himself. Yeah, well, sometimes Mother goes with him. For the most part, he goes alone. But don't get me wrong, it's not because they don't get along. In fact, they act like more like teenagers in love than grown adults. It almost makes me sick having to watch it. Oh, it's a wonderful thing to be so close, no matter how old they may be. True, but still. There are those in the world who cannot be with the ones they care for as much as they may wish. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's right, the book. What were you reading? I, wasn't exactly reading. I can't. I do not enjoy reading lots of text, so I was looking at the pictures. Yes, just look at the pictures. Is that so? You seem very cultured, so I thought you'd be partial to reading. Perhaps you're actually more like Nelly and excuse, I should say that? Excuse your studies? Yes. I would have guessed. But you like looking at pictures? I do. What else do you like? What? What do you enjoy doing? It can be anything. I enjoy being told stories. Stories? Yes, when I was young, my father would tell me tales. What kind of stories did you like? There was one about an imprisoned girl. Tell it to me. Okay. Are we getting a story within a story within a story? There's many layers here. Well, once there was a girl, and she was locked away in a mansion deep in the forest. I mean, that's surprisingly relevant. A mansion with only one window. But the window sat high upon the wall, far beyond her reach. So it was always very dark inside, unlike this mansion. However, the girl did not like the outside world. There are lots of scary things out there after all. Though she may have been all alone in the mansion, she grew comfortable with the darkness in time, so she had nothing to be afraid of. And then, am I doing a good job? You're doing fine, keep going. What happens next? Okay. And then, the girl grew up. By then, she had already forgotten why she was locked up, but she was content with the darkness. However, her eyes couldn't help but be drawn to the little bit of light that spilled through the one window. Though she was comfortable in the darkness, the sight of the light made her heart race. At first, the girl thought it was because she found it unpleasant, because she disliked the light and the outside. But slowly she came to realize that she was curious about the outside world. What could be happening out there? For all she knew, the town, the forest, the people, all of it could have been changed while she was imprisoned in the mansion. But she had no way of finding out. So the girl decided to write letters and throw them out the window. What began as empty grasping became routine, continuing for several months until she was finally ready to give up. But then, a beautiful white dove flew in through the window. Tied to the dove's leg was a letter. Her heart racing, she read the words contained within. It seemed to have been written by a man. The letter contained numerous questions for the girl. It also said that if she attached a reply to the dove, it would bring the letter back to him. She was astonished, but she wrote him back anyway, taking care not to mention where she was. After having exchanged letters a number of times, the two felt very close to one another, as though they had known each other for many years, despite having never met. And eventually the man said he wanted to meet her. Indeed, the girl was unsure what to do. Should she tell him of how she lived? Should she reveal where she spent her days? She was afraid if she did, she would cease to send her letters. She was sure he believed her to be a young lady of noble blood, and not a girl locked away in the house deep in the forest. The girl could not bring herself to write a response. She released the dove from the window with nothing attached to his leg, and yet it returned with another letter, written in the man's familiar hand. "You must surely have a grave reason for your silence," it said. "I would like to know that reason, and I would like to help you. No matter what it may be, you have my word." She deliberated. Though his letters were kind, she did not know this man. He was from the outside. Would he still treat her the same way when he met her? And did she even want to step out into the world beyond? What do you think she did? Wrote a letter and agreed to meet him, right? Yes, she did. The girl made up her mind. She would write a letter. As always, she tied it to the dove's leg, and it flew out the window. And for some time after that, she received no response from the man. This saddened her, but she thought it was for the best. She belonged in her own confined world, her world of darkness. But then one day, light shone into the mansion. The sealed door had been opened, and in the doorway stood a handsome young man. "Well, I have come for you," he said. The man was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. When the girl stepped outside, before her sat a magnificent carriage, the likes of which she had never seen before, accompanied by many servants. The prince, kind as in the letters, swore his love to her, and the two lived happily ever after. Yes, A happy story. Only a nice story. I'm glad it had a happy ending. A prince. Was there something funny about the story? No, that's not why I was laughing. Do you ever imagine what it would be like if a prince showed up for you? Huh? It doesn't have to be the real prince, or even just someone like one. Is that something you dream about? Oh, no, I think I'm perhaps a little too old for that. You think so? Nellie still fantasizes about her prince, and she's 14. I just assume all girls were the same. Lady Nellie's prince. That's you, Lord Mel, no? What? Is it not? I mean, we used to play make-believe a lot when we were kids, but I very much doubt she still thinks of me in that way in earnest. When she calls me her prince now, it's mostly in jest. If it weren't, that would be concerning, because it would be really weird. Oh? That story, do you know if it's an original tale? One that's been passed down through the ages? I'm not sure. It could very well be of my father's own creation. You might think me conceited, but I think the story might be about me. The girl trapped in the mansion is you? You haven't been locked up anywhere before, have you? No, thankfully. I have never been locked up before. Oh, thank goodness. But with an appearance like mine, I can sympathize with her being afraid of the outside world. I have at times imagined how wonderful life would be if it were only me and my father. But the girl left the house in the end. If your father really wrote that story, then I believe it contains his hope for you to end up the same way. Oh? I don't have what it takes to be a real prince and whisk you away, but I can at least pretend. So, if it was your father's wish for you to see the outside world, then surely there's nothing wrong with you getting out and experiencing all the scenery the world has to offer. I want to see the outside too, or to be more specific, other countries. So, if you like, this is like asking her on a date or something. Could you, or rather, could maybe go see distant lands together? Yeah, dear smell. Okay. Blocked. Cock blocked. Anyway. Dearest Mel, I've been looking all over for you. Nelly. Look at this, dearest Mel. Mother brought me these wonderful gloves to wear on walks. The roses embroidered on the wrists are just precious. Oh my, you're right. They are beautiful. You appear to be dizzy, Lord Mel. Are you feeling unwell? No, I'm fine. Okay. Mel was feeling frustrated at his inability to convey his feelings to her. As his frustration built up over time, he developed, I suppose you could call this a severe case of lovesickness. For several consecutive nights, he'd been afflicted with a peculiar sensation. A presence in his bedchamber. What do you mean by that? Death. Oh, okay. I was thinking of something else. Well, it's just death. Don't worry about it. Death to the unholy one. Death to the heretic. Death to the witch. Kill somebody, I guess. Kill redacted. She's... Why, I never wanted her to die. Was she not eating? Seal off the tower. Understood? No one finds out about this. How can you be so calm? Don't you understand what you've done? Huh, pinning the blame on me? How nice it must be able to distort reality with panic. You're just as guilty as any of us. I never wanted her to die. Okay. Interesting. The witch killed her. The blood of the witch killed my blah blah blah. Squishy sounds. Okay. So that was a story of a... I mean, I feel like this is a reference to the story about the girl in the mansion, right? The one the white-haired girl talked about. But then it seems like in reality, maybe something else happened that involved like a witch. And, you know, it didn't have like a happy ending. Anyway. Ugh. Ah. A dream? What was that dream? It was horribly unsettling. I was holding someone, a girl I cared for dearly, in my arms, and she was limp. It was almost as if you were dead. I've been having a lot of really unpleasant dreams lately. I can't stop shaking. Why would I have such a dream? I feel sick. Back to sleep. But I wonder, who was that girl? I can sense someone standing beyond my door. Is someone there? It's like they're watching me. Is it just my imagination? I can't move. What do you want? Go away! Ah. The sound is growing fainter. Is that truly what your story meant, Father? But such a magnificent garden. Something we could never have had. Are my intentions misguided? What a beautiful white rose. Okay, CG. You know, you could have sneaked into his room rather easily then. No one was watching. How long have you... Oh, you needn't pay me any mind. I shall not condemn you, no matter what you might do. Rather, I am on your side. I was not going to do anything. Oh? Is that so? Then perhaps you're out for a late night stroll. I imagine you have less difficulties going outside at night. I beg your pardon. I will return to the mansion immediately. Oh yes, that reminds me. It was also the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into their safe. News of that spread quite far. I'm sure you would have heard about it. Oh? Although, was Girmash in prison? Dear me, I am having trouble remembering. Worry not. If you wish for it, the mansion shall provide. You're in no danger whatsoever of getting caught. You said that a witch lives in the mansion, did you not? I did. Does that sound perhaps a bit archaic to you? No. I believe those rumors mockingly refer to me. Oh my. I've been accused of being a witch before. Which is amusing. I don't have any magical powers. I simply have an unusual appearance. Weird. My, what a lovely shade of red. The rose. Is something the matter? This rose was white. Until I took it in my hand. Is that so? I apologize, I must sound mad. I'm sure I was just mistaken. It couldn't possibly have changed. I wonder. Yes? Did the girl locked in the mansion become a princess? What? We should lock up and head to bed. Make sure all the shutters are closed nice and tight, and then draw the bar on the front door. Okay. The maid is very creepy. She knew about that story even though she wasn't, there to hear it, somehow. Something about a witch in the mansion, eh? Well, my first guess is probably the maid. She's probably the witch, if I had to guess. Slowly but surely, time tracked onward, and everyone working toward their own individual goals. Each early summer breeze that blew through the garden was like God's hallowed breath carrying the flowers' fragrance in through Rose Manor's windows. If only time could be stopped and this beautiful era made to live on through eternity. As usual, Mel's eyes chased after the white-haired girl and Nellie pursed her lips in frustration at him. But she was still rather docile. Even taking into account how self-centered she behaved, how fickle her temper, Nellie's fits were still no worse than a playful kitten. See? At that very moment, our lively little feline had her claws, poised to swat at the flaxen-haired young man. Mel, you promised me, or have you forgotten? I haven't forgotten, I'm just asking you if we can go another day. Another day? This isn't something that happens every day. I've been looking forward to the night's performance for so long. There's nothing I can do about that. We're having a gathering in the priest's home tonight. Several high-ranking officials have come up from the mainland just for this. Who cares? I care. Gosh. You know, Nelly, it doesn't have to be me who goes with you. No, I want to go with you, Mel. You've been so distant lately, dearest Mel. You refuse to do anything with me. That's not true. Tell me, if you can't go today, when can you? When will you be willing to go out with me? When will you be willing to play cards with me? To have tea together? I can't make any promises. I have things to do, obligations. And Nelly, you're almost an adult yourself. Stop acting like a child. I'm not an adult yet, I'm still a kid. If it means I don't get to play with you anymore, dearest Mel, then I don't want to be an adult. Nelly, you can't. Lady Nelly, the master speaks to wishes to speak with you. Father does. What can you want? Go on, Nelly. You can't make Father wait. He's very particular about people keeping their appointments. Yes, he is. Unlike you, dearest Mel. What's got her in such a foul mood? Oh, thank goodness for small miracles. Nelly just won't seem to take me at my word lately. You mustn't be so harsh on her. She's your one and only darling little sister. You're right, but still, she's taking it a bit too far of late. Oh? I'm not so sure. She does not seem to be behaving any differently to me. Am I the only one acting differently then? Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a favor? Me? What can I do for you? I was thinking. Physically, Mel was undeniably a young man, but the smirk that crossed his lips as he schemed gave his face the sweet look of a little boy. Or perhaps that was simply part of his charm, and it was not the age disparity but his character that made his heart, or rather his smile, so heartwarming. What did he ask of me? You shall find out soon enough. I'm not gonna tell us. It's just such an unreliable narrator, keeping secrets from us. It's cloudy. Yeah, thank goodness for that too. Though it would be even better if it were even darker out. I believe the textile shop was around here. Ah, hi there. Lord Mel, fancy meeting you here. Yeah, what a surprise. I didn't like literally ask the maids, you know, for information on what you were doing and totally stalk you and then ambush you here. Totally not doing that. So, what do you say we take this chance and go for a little walk? Since you're so sensitive to sunlight, we can keep our eyes out for shadowy areas as we go. If you feel unwell, just let me know. I was sent out to run an errand. Don't worry about that. Come on, follow me. This is very irresponsible. She's gonna get in trouble. Buddy, doesn't matter if you're like the son of the master of the house, but anyway. I'm sorry. It actually wasn't an accident that we crossed paths. I planned this out ahead of time. Asked to have you sent out on a fake errand. Oh. I was gonna say at least he's being honest about it, but then again, he also did the errand part. So actually that was also a lie. There's a lot of manipulation. It feels like I'm always on alert back at the mansion. Can't relax in my own house. It's actually kind of funny. Sorry, that was inappropriate of me. I just thought since the sun's mostly blocked out, it'll be alright if... I'm feeling just fine. Of course I get her out of the house and I can't even think of anything to say. Hey, yes? Have you settled into life at the mansion? I have. Everyone has been such a big help. That's good to hear. Indeed. So, yes? Nelly told me she had you help redecorate her room some time back. Ah yes, that was shortly after I arrived. What of it? Yeah, that day Nelly told me that you don't... I don't... Never mind. Sorry, it's not important. Okay. It is important, but I can't just ask how she feels about me, you know? Then there'll be no, dramatic tension in the story at all, I guess. That would make me sound like forget it. Sound like I do, don't I? Lord Mel? Oh, sorry. There's something in my mind. It looks like it might rain again today. The weather usually gets better as summer approaches, not worse like it always been. It won't be a heavy storm, though. No? The wind is too gentle. You can tell from that? Are you a meteorologist? Vaguely, but yes. Huh, that's impressive. You should, become a newscaster or something. Or not a newscaster, rather, a weather forecaster person, just and over here is when it's gonna rain, and over here is when everybody's going to die, and what? I often leave the house unprepared, only to find myself sloshing back in the rain. You laugh a lot more than you used to. Do I? Yeah, and I like that. You look better with a smile on your face. Now, they always say that, don't they? You look better when you smile. Look better when you smile. A smile suits Lady Nelly much more than I. What? Her smile and your smile are completely different. Also, a smile suits you as well, Lord Mel. Do you really think so? What am I supposed to do in the face of a smile like that? So, yes? Knowing her, if I ask if I'm imposing, she'll say no without hesitation. Trying to cover myself isn't gonna get me anywhere. Hold on a second. I never did get you those flowers like I promised. There was a single white rose blooming in the garden. I was planning to give it to you, but it disappeared before I had the chance. Weird, huh? So, I'd like you to have this. It's not a real rose, but it won't wilt either. Mel was holding an ornamental white rose. It was an impressively detailed replica of the real thing, crafted by an incredibly skilled artisan's hand. It was, I imagine, made by the same craftsman from whom Mel had ordered Nellie's birthday necklace. The young man, who but a handful of days earlier had said he had no sweetheart, had come in to commission a present for a girl. The master of the shop must have been quite surprised. Perhaps it had given him a good laugh instead. It was for this moment that he so desperately sought for time together with a white-haired girl. I don't know what you like, so I had to base it on my sister's tastes. My apologies. I cannot accept this. Is the design not to your liking? No, if you're concerned how much I paid for it, don't be. I just want you to have it, that's all. Please. Why are you so kind to me? Why? Because... I'm sorry, I can't accept it. A clear glint of flustered panic was visible in her red eyes. There's not a girl in the world whose heart would not flutter at the sight of a sparkling rose accessory. Is it? I don't know about that, but her reaction was far from delight. As a matter of fact, there were traces of fear and apprehension in her countenance. Countenance? I beg your pardon. Hold on. With a look of distress on her face, the white-haired girl made to run off, but Mel grabbed her by the arm in the nick of time. At least, tell me why. Is it because you dislike me? I never said... Something's wrong with me. From the day you arrived at the mansion, it's like I haven't been myself. I've been strangely aflutter ever since then. Whether I try to study or whether I try to read, none of it sticks. I'm just looking at pages of text, tracing rows of letters only for them to disappear as soon as I look away. It's all because of you. I truly am sorry. Please, don't be any more generous than you already have. When I'm with you, my willpower wavers, my will stat, my RPG, character sheet, it kind of lowers because I have a debuff. Anyway. What do you mean by that? I'm so sorry. Different sprite, okay. Wait! Mel's grip loosened for a moment, allowing her to slip free and dart off like a gust of wind, not giving him a chance to stop her a second time. I can be honest, he looks a little weird, from the side. I think it's his eye. His eyes, like, for some reason. I don't know, it's just weird to me. Anyway, the dumbfounded, flaxen-haired boy stood frozen in place, left all by himself. The breeze, which the white-haired girl had called gentle earlier, felt faintly chilly, almost as if mocking him. It looks like she's even less fond of me than I thought. Ugh. God, I'm crying. Wah. I'm pathetic. Hello, shonen. Well, you see, if you want to gain the heart of a young girl, you must first summon a servant and join the battle royale. For the Holy Grail, you see. Well, if it's Mel, what might you be... Are you crying? I'm so pitiful. Sorry you had to see this. Think nothing of it. I passed by a girl just a few moments ago. She appeared to be rather distressed as well. Did something happen between the two of you? I wasn't good enough, it seems. Not good enough. That was the new maid I was telling you about before. I was, like you said, Father, I was keen on her. Quite. Enough to bring me to tears like a miserable child. But she rejected me. I don't even have what it takes to be a stand-in prince. Mel. I apologize for complaining to you about this. I'm completely hopeless. Mel. Please don't try to cheer me up. I don't need any sympathy, No, Mel. Listen to me. What? I've seen that girl before. What? What do you mean? But... You said she was a servant at your house, right? In which case... Yes, she is. Please tell me, Father, where did you see her? Why must you be so evasive? It was probably someone else. Someone else? You're saying you mistook someone who stands out as much as her? Father. She and a man, whom I assume is her father, paid a visit to the church once. They came asking for food, their clothes in tatters. The two were emaciated. I don't think they were eating daily. What? Wait a minute, are you saying she's a beggar? But Father said she came from an esteemed house. Which is why I said I might be mistaken, Mel. She has a singular aspect, but it is possible there is another girl who looks similar. It's not impossible. Just a coincidence. Don't worry about it. Anyway, deep down though, the priest surely believed the opposite. And so he said sternly like a teacher to a pupil. But you must be absolutely certain, Mel. Understood? You cannot proceed any further without knowing her ancestry. May I visit the church, Father? By all means. In the back of Mel's mind, a vision of the night of the storm, the night of the white-haired girl arrived at the mansion was surely replaying. She had been wearing little more than rags and covered in grime, hardly the appearance of a respectable young lady of class. Is that... I don't know. I mean, there's something going on with that girl. She says something about her willpower lowering. I don't think that means she likes Mel. Rather, I think she's trying to do something at the house that involves maybe stealing something or ruining something, of the Rhodes family. And that's what she's trying to do, like a weird, political spy. I don't know. Anyway. Have I been putting her through unnecessary stress? If she actually turns out to be nameless, to be rankless, no matter where she comes from, my heart is decided. I will not fool myself about how I feel any longer. No, I cannot fool myself. But how does she feel? What will everyone else think? I have to find out why she was welcome into our house. I'll ask Mother or Father. No, if for some reason they don't know she isn't aristocratic, I'm better off not saying anything. But if they don't, then does that mean she's been lying to us? And to them? I have to find out. This time, I must get answers. Yes, the plot thickens.
No, absolutely not. You come back and the first thing you say is that? I hate you, father. I will not stand for this. Ah, okay. I guess she had her meeting with father. You know, because there's two fathers, by the way. There's like the religious father and obviously the biological father. There's a lot of fathers, two fathers. But why? Why would he just suddenly throw that on me? He didn't even ask for my opinion. No, I won't do it. I'm fine the way things are. I'm just fine. Okay. Different pose. Dear Smell, I need your help. I don't want to get married. Okay. Arranged marriage. That's what you do. You're nobility. You gotta do it.